Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal. Yesterday's episode of BattleTech Heavy Metal. Sorry about that, I did not intend for this to be like an entire day late, but things happen. You know how life is. The American healthcare system is a travesty. I guess I should clarify, nothing bad, nothing happened to me, I'm just trying to, figure things out so that I can afford to continue living next year, which is not a thing that is guaranteed in this great country of ours. Anyway. Let's blow up some robots, huh? I could really use a little bit of stress relief. So we're going to bang out the last two missions on this planet, and then we're going to do some other stuff. One of our covert operatives was captured by a local government patrol. We need a rapid response team to raid the facility and get our operative out safely. We'll pay a bonus if you're able to secure the data she was trying to deliver, but bonuses like this are always percentage increases of your base pay, and our base pay is garbage. So it's only a 2-skull mission. There's probably not really that much of value to have here in terms of salvage, but I think I'm going to lean into the salvage just in case we see an interesting mech, because there's so little money on the line. I might even... Do we go all the way? It's 70k difference for each point of priority salvage we take. Let's do it like this. I bet there's not going to be 3 things that I actually want priority salvage on. I'm sure there won't be 4. How busted up are you? Your leg's in pretty bad shape. This side of the mech is fine. That left arm is going, but there's nothing in it. It does expose that missile launcher that I would not like to lose, though. You know what? We'll run it like this. That's fine. Do we want to bring in one of the other pilots? This is going to be an easier mission. We probably don't have to go super hard. And you know what? Actually, we probably won't need heat control so badly in the polar biome. So why don't we bring Grizzly in here? Let's try to train some other people up into 3-skill territory. We don't want to take it down too far, because obviously it would be a real shame if we were to lose something or someone doing an easy mission, but we can probably... Let's see, do we want to pull in Steam Fitter or Trampoline? If I did pull them in, where would we put them even? Because I feel like we should... A 2-skull is going to be easy enough. I feel like we should be training people up. So we could put somebody in the other Centurion. Like, this Centurion's not super vital. Yeah, I'm going to put Steam Fitter in here, even though his skill set's not really a good match for it. We just need to get him some more XP, right? We gotta start training people up. I wonder if maybe I should have put in Trampoline. I'm wondering about our access to sensor lock. Maybe I should be trying to train up a sensor lock pilot. Although, honestly, that may be where Steam Fitter is going. We might be making him the small forward mech guy, and that's a role that really benefits from having sure footing and target lock. In those turns where it has to like run behind a hill and hide so it doesn't die. Yeah, that's probably what we're doing with Steam Fitter. Basically refilling the role that was left empty when I foolishly lost Pancake.
Command interface initiated.
You know, she died though as she lived in an explosion. You can't be too upset about that. Alright, move up, secure the location, pick up the agent, kill anyone who tries to interact with you in any way. It's funny how space also kind of feels like America sometimes. Also, what is going on with the frame rate in this video game? Why is it so jerky? Hold on a second. Let me get through all these moves. I'm going to tab out for a second to make sure nothing wild is going on my computer. Definitely stuff that I could have done before starting the recording. Yeah, why do you ask? It turns out OBS has a system footprint. Okay, you know what? It looks like everything's fine. Maybe... Who knows? I'm just having one of those days where I'm real nervous about how everything is going now. Okay, so...
Moving to position.
We are not strongly incentivized to even bother with the secondary facility. Right, it's going to be an extra 9,000 C-bills or something. Right? It's probably a 10% bonus on our terrible pay. So, I don't know. We'll probably just get this done and get out of here quickly. I reckon we are in a place where we could just get to another planet and start doing something a little bit more valuable.
Time to earn.
Let's jump you out here. Yeah, whatever this is, I knew I wanted to be fighting it before it got a chance to move. And it's not exactly terrifying. It's a fair amount of damage. But we have bulwark and 5 evasion. We'll be alright. Just hit him with everything. Okay, with some solid center damage. Good grouping. There's an there's an ammo bin in there. I really like the Phoenix Hawk. It's a shame that it's such a light mech. I kind of hope that there's a heavier version of it somewhere available. Oh, that's a Manticore. We should maybe kill the Manticore. The vehicle over here is just a Striker. I mean, the Manticore's not that much more dangerous than a Striker, honestly. There are some heavy vehicles that I am legitimately afraid of. Demolishers and SRM carriers are both terrifying. That guy's actually not that big of a deal. To be perfectly honest, the Blackjack might be a higher priority target. Especially because the Manticore is fairly heavily armored, right? Yeah. Best case scenario, you can get through it with over 100 damage, and that's to a side we definitely cannot hit. I'm just going to do this. Let's just work this Blackjack. So much good work has already been done. Why not just keep building on that? You know, you can see the furthest when you stand on the shoulders of giant robots.
Waiting for orders.
Man, I love the polar biome. I love being able to fire the whole set of ridiculous weapons we have here and not even be close to overheating. Well, I think we're going to be able to knock it down, because I think we should be able to get range to fire the crab guns at it. Henceforth, AC-20s will always be referred to as the crab guns. Oh no, we can't. I need to do a little bit of stability damage. No. Well, that's a real shame. Okay, if I walk forward, can I could give this guy the crab guns, although they're almost certainly not going to hit. Can I not? I can't even hit the vehicle from here, really? That's weird. I guess the rocks and stuff. It's actually pretty strange though that I don't have any angle that I can hit that vehicle from. Okay, if I'm all the way back here, I could give the vehicle the lasers. Maybe that's the right move. No, it has enough health that I probably wouldn't even kill it. I think I am just gonna move up.
I read you, Commander. Moving
And we'll just give him the laser weapons, I guess.
Time to die.
Oh wow, they both made contact in the same area and everything. That was really nice. I was expecting that to be a total throwaway attack. Like, I was expecting that to be a throwaway attack to the point where after I hit the button, part of me was like, you know what, you probably should have just sprinted forward. Why even bother? Okay, it's a little bit of a threat. The Phoenix Hawk needs to get out of there.
I'm getting pummeled.
What is the other four? Do we even know what it is? Oh, it's whatever that thing back there is. Was that an LRM-5 and a medium laser?
Getting blown apart.
I mean, that could be a locust or something, even. Yeah, it is a locust.
Right here.
Okay, Phoenix Hawk, disengage. Obviously, we want to jump. Oh, I wish we could jump back to those trees. Jump back to here. I want to make sure that we're still in the frontal arc of the Blackjack. I think this is pretty good. And the right side of the mech has taken a pretty serious beating, so let's turn this way. Oh hey, we actually will overheat. It turns out you can push it too far. How's the center looking? Grizzly doesn't have very good aim, but you wouldn't have to hit very much to make this work. Let's see if we can just drill. Like, even a single medium laser could potentially a single medium laser hit to the center could be a kill. We get lucky and get that explosion. We did not, but hey, a lot of good work got done there.
Commander.
Approximately half of its guns are dead. I'll take it.
Damage is minor, Commander. Yes, Commander.
I feel like we really need just more mechs. This composition is kind of crummy in the sense that we don't have anybody to stand up close to keep the enemies in position. Like with this lineup, we have 3 mechs that are trying to kind of keep the enemies at a distance, and the only thing that wants to be close to enemies literally can't because movement speed. This is sort of like It's a little bit like Darkest Dungeon. We don't have a frontline party member, so whoever was in the second row becomes the front line, and none of these people really want to be that guy. This is what happens when the Griffin is missing. What are the shot odds on the Jenner? It's actually moved quite a bit. Alright, I think I'm going to precision strike that Jenner. We probably don't have to hit it with much. We can definitely turn off the UAC for this shot. It's at 41. Yeah, I'll leave the medium laser on.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Because if the large laser hits the wrong area, the LRMs are not by themselves going to get the job done.
Dang, you're dead.
They don't cluster well enough. There's something satisfying about that thing that just happened there. Where, like...
Their targeting skills aren't impressive.
I forgot that I love Steamfitter as a character. He should definitely get trained up. We need him on missions all the time. But I was saying, there's something very satisfying about what just happened there, where, like, you do the math, and you're like, okay, well, a large laser hit to the area will totally do it, but we can't guarantee the large laser will hit where we want, so which weapons do I need to leave active to have a good enough chance? In theory, the LRMs could do enough damage, but they'd have to all hit the same place, and they won't. And then for it to happen exactly the way you planned for, like, the things that you thought might go wrong, and you exactly hit your contingencies, something about that is just incredibly compelling, and I think it's probably the reason that I love this, part of the reason that I love this game so much. Also, giant robots. It's just like, it lets me come up with plans, expect things to go wrong, compensate for those things, and then, like, have a reasonable chance of being right, and every time that happens, it feels so good. I feel like a genius. Alright, that armor's starting to look a little thin. Maybe have to move Steam Fitter back. Okay, yeah, Locust 1S. No big surprise there. And there's a Panther somewhere in the distance. That is not really a big problem. We just gotta smash up these other guys. We will deal with the Panther. You know, you hold off. Grizzly's probably not first. Let's start with Tire Fire. Alright, I'm gonna do a split shot here. We're gonna put one of the LRMs into the Locust just to strip a point of evasion from it while we're working here. I would really love it if we could get the UAC in without overheating. Excellent.
No problem. I've got enough guns for everyone.
It is a lot of guns. Unfortunately, that Manticore is more heavily armored than some mechs are. Okay, a 55. You know, it may end up being actually valuable that we ask for so much priority salvage. We might get something useful out of this. So this guy has 29 health left in that left panel. You gotta take it easy for a turn. But I don't want to back up that much. What I'm thinking is that I really want the Phoenix Hawk to not be in a position where it's easy to target it with the long-range weaponry, but I think the way we're probably going to deal with that is by cleaning up the Manticore and the Locust and just denying them direct vision of us. And we'll hope they don't have any sensors. Alright, we got there. We got there. AC2++ is like a... What an extremely efficient weapon. 35 damage for 4 heat.
Awaiting order.
Ooh, a 50 and a 55. This mission is a little bit more difficult than I think the number of skulls suggests. Let's turn you away from the enemy, and... Do I want to precision strike this? You know what? 24 damage missiles is a lot of damage relative to a Locust, especially considering that we have Breaching Shot here, so he doesn't even get his guarded. Boy, did I hit that leg at all? I really wanted to take that leg out. I think I'm fine with just presenting the crab to the enemies. They want to shoot at the crab a little bit. That'll work out for me. Okay, it's the Party Mech. Party Mech is outside of big gun range, which is real good for it. Do I even fire the autocannon? Or do I want to let the, It might be the case that I want to let the recoil come down. Actually, I'm not receiving a recoil modifier here. Did these not... Do cluster cannons not have recoil penalties? Because I was noticing that it's showing the same percentage as the other autocannon, which has not fired recently. Okay, you know what? We'll go ahead and shoot this one as well, and I think I will not spend a precision strike.
Got it. Did you see that? Did you see it?
Turns out you gotta be a little bit careful with where you put all the missiles inside your big fighting robot. There's that Panther. Interesting that it chose not to fire. I guess maybe it couldn't get an angle because it's advancing behind the ridge.
Right here.
Advancing behind the ridge, probably a smart move on its part. I think I'm going to let the party mech come up on us, though. It might be able to get close enough to shoot at the backliners, but I would love it if it had fewer than 4 points of evasion when we try to kill it, so... And the crab can certainly tank a couple of turns of beating here. I really do love the Hunchback. I think both models of the Hunchback are super fun. It is one of my favorite mechs for sure.
Standing by.
Good to go.
Alright, what do I want to do here? This Griffin is not actually super dangerous. It's got to be the Hunchback first. It's got to be. And I'll tell you, I'd love to bring this Hunchback down in a way that preserves some of its body. I don't know how feasible that really is. Let's try something. We have an 18% headshot chance. We don't have any weapons that would actually take the head off, but I could just aim at the head and hope. It is at least theoretically possible that the UAC could do it, but both of the bullets would have to hit. I'm going to try this. If we can hit him in the head once now, we can maybe set up a headshot for the kill later.
Here we go.
Hey, it actually worked. One of the UAC hits did make head
Another hit like
contact.
that and you're toast.
Actually, it looks like maybe a missile did too, based on the amount of damage that was done there. Yeah, that's a missile plus a UAC shot. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
Nobody else on the team has the skills to hit at even that level of accuracy, but I'm gonna try. Because at 12, almost any weapon making contact with the head will do the job. Ooh, but if I moved you into a place where you only have one, maybe I don't even bother spending the shot with you then. Trying to click out. Just give me the normal. There we go. Normal attack. I think I will just go ahead and throw the AC2 at him though. Let's get that extra point of evasion off, and maybe I can do a little more stability damage.
Reporting.
We'll have you. Boy, you're in rough shape. You need to like back way up. I'd really love to get into a place. Here we go. So we have a blow through on the left side. I'd really like to not lose that left side, so we want to show our right to them, although our right is also a little bit weak. And we're gonna go for it here. Come on, AC5.
I understand.
Odds are pretty bad. Yeah, no damage. I was thinking if we get at least a missile hit to the head, even if it doesn't kill him, that's one more point to pilot damage. We can maybe just put the pilot down. We could easily knock the Hunchback over, which will give Tirefire another shot against it next turn. So I think what I might do here... We do have multi-shot. Let's go... I'm going to engage the lasers and the UAC against the Griffin, even though the UAC doesn't actually have a very good shot. We'll use the LB-20 to put the Hunchback over on its back, and then we'll see what happens next turn.
Line them up and I'll shoot them down, Commander.
We missed with the UAC, but that should still... I feel like the UAC should still do some like morale damage when you fire it at people, even if it misses, because that's got to be a terrifying experience, right? And there's our Panther. Give me party mech or give me death. Well, I'm going to give you death, and then you will give me the party mech.
Right here.
It's still giving.
Awaiting orders.
It's important to me that this feels like a consensual transaction. You will give me your mech, even though you are far too dead to be giving anyone anything. Alright, do I want to go in with the UAC? I think I'm going to let the UAC cool for a second here, and we're going to fire the laser instead. So I want to have a nice, clean, non-recoiled shot with the UAC against the new guys next turn. Alright, fingers crossed, everybody. Alright, laser hit the head. Actually, that was, like, really lucky. So there's 3 pieces of that mech in the loot pool. That guy might be a priority take for us. King Crab's just gonna sit here and eat the damage.
Yes, Commander.
Let's... I'm gonna continue backing up. Really, really, really need Steamfitter not to get shot at ever again. And I don't know if I actually think that it's worth firing at the Griffin here. The thing is, the Panther has kind of a similar damage output, but it's also much, much easier to kill it. Yeah, let's see if we can put this Panther away first. I'm going to precision strike. Let's go for... It keeps the ammo in the wrong side. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So we want to take this arm off if we can.
The target is confirmed.
We don't necessarily have to kill the thing. If we just got the PPC arm off, it would basically be dead. Oh, that's true. I wasn't really thinking about that, but because it's so small, it takes less stability damage to knock it over. That is a thing that will be useful here. I'd like to get in range to hit the Panther with the full volley.
Copy.
Hoping I don't pay for this. And we have all the evasion plus bulwark. I think we are approaching in the safest way that we have available to us. Alright, there we go.
Critical hit, Commander.
I hope this thing moved close enough for the crab to just
Waiting for
walk right up to it and shotgun it. Oh, I can't get up there. The eternal magic of not having a single jump jet. So the UAC is a really bad shot here. He just has too much damn evasion. Maybe we just go for the finish? Yeah, honestly,
moving out.
I think I'm just going to kill you. I'm going to not fire the UAC at you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, missing one of the lasers is definitely... Never mind. I was going to say, is definitely going to hurt, but apparently not. That was the extra laser. Well, he saw an opportunity to ruin our day, and he really went for it. Okay, bad news is that's given him a bunch of evasion. I think what I'm going to do here actually is reserve down to 1, let the crab go first and turn around and throw a punch at him, and we'll try to strip his evasion by stability rather than by just working it out point by point. Also, there's a non-zero chance that this punch is a kill. If it hits center torso, he just dies. Crab just runs up and grabs the arm and the claw and yanks until it comes loose.
Commander.
So was that... Yep, that was unsteady by itself.
Good to go.
It sure is nice to have a king crab. Alright, well now we have lots of very accurate shots to take. Let us... I really want to fire the UAC. Can I do that? Yeah, actually, it doesn't generate that much heat. Alright, so this will put him on his ass even if it doesn't actually kill him. She hit him in the head. Firefire is on today.
Standing by.
He died? Did the pilot die? Oh. Alright. Well, I guess let's go do the mission. Alright, hold position until she's safely aboard. You know, I said that I didn't really care about the secondary objective, and I don't, to be clear.
Don't need to tell me
But
twice.
I'm wondering if it might be faster to finish the job than it would be to hit the evac. Oh yeah, the evac's on the way over there. Yeah, so since we actually killed all the enemies, I'm sure when we hit the second zone, it'll just complete the mission for us.
You betcha.
Well, either that or it'll spawn reinforcements. I guess let's find out.
Moving to position.
Phoenix Hawk's a good mech, you know? It's really, really fast for its size. Not that it's huge or anything. Yeah, okay, cool. Not that it's huge or anything, but man, it's fast. So that went well. We came out way ahead on that one. Really, really good work from our pilots. Also, I did okay. Oh, you know what? A 30% bonus is cool. It's still an amount of money that doesn't matter at all, but it was nice of them to give us such a large bonus. Alright, so let's talk about loot. Large laser with 50% crit, and that medium laser's not bad. But yeah, I don't think we're taking any components here. Let's take mech parts. So I was saying 3 pieces of the party mech. That is why it's called the 4P. It is for partying. But we could finish a Griffin instead. Yeah. And this is a different Griffin than the one we have. Because you can see this one doesn't have any missile hardpoints. So this one is also score. I think let's finish the Griffin and take 1 piece of the party mech. And then fingers crossed. No, they gave me a piece of blackjack. Can't be too mad about that. They gave me the cool laser. Yeah, that was really good. What an extremely good payout. So I don't know exactly. I don't know if we're even gonna equip that Griffin, but we could. What would we use it for? It doesn't have missile hardpoints, so I was talking about building us a mech that is better at managing its heat. Can we... Let's send the Locust to storage. And have a look at this thing real quick here. So 2 missile hardpoints, 4 laser hardpoints. We could generate... We could make this sort of an LRM large laser mech and without generating too much heat. I think usually... Oh, that's right. We don't have a... I'm so used to the... In my head, I had this totally backwards where I was thinking these were the missile hardpoints and those were the gun hardpoints, and I don't know why. That's totally a Griffin we did already have. Well, whatever. It's still a good mech. A second one is not the end of the world. But if I had realized that was the same Griffin we already had and that my brain, which is still very much outside of the game, if I had realized what my brain was doing there, I probably would have taken the 3 pieces of the party mech instead. Oh well. We'll have plenty of time to correct that error. And now, a question, actually. Do we even want to do this mission? I want the money, but I'm worried about the state of our mechs. I think we might be tempting fate a little bit by going at that. We could not run the Centurions, I suppose. So we could go like King Crab, Phoenix Hawk, Jenner, Panther. But honestly, I don't know if it's a good idea. I think we're in a damaged enough state that maybe we should just repair and get off world. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's lay in the obvious repairs. And then let's talk about these 2 new mechs. We have 2 new bodies to work with here. So in BattleTech, like the rules system of the tabletop game and the more sort of advanced and detailed BattleTech games, there's a bunch of stuff going on with the mech besides the weapons. The chassis itself has a weight, and then like the engine you put in it has a weight. In this game, you're not allowed to mess with the engines at all. But because there's other stuff happening that's kind of like off-screen, mechs of the same weight class don't always have the same amount of usable space. So we can see the Shadowhawk here has 18.5 tons worth of space to play with. This Griffin that is the same tonnage has... Okay, it does have the same 18.5. I bet they have the same engine. So I guess the question is, which one of these things do we want to work out into something new more? It's probably the Shadowhawk, since we already have a Griffin doing this job. Let's see what we can make of a Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk has room for autocannons. I'm a big fan of the autocannons, personally. I think the autocannons are my favorite class of weapon. With 18.5 total tonnage, we'd probably want this to be more of a mid-range kind of thing. What's the weight of an AC-10? AC-10s are 12, so that would be a huge percentage of the overall weight. But if we mounted, let's say, an AC-5, and let's get an ammo bin in there. I believe AC-5 ammo is 15 shots per bin. Yeah, so that's not a thing where we would need 2 bins. Unless I want to put a second AC-5 in there, which I might. It has room for it, right? pair of AC5s and then, like, ooh, boy. That doesn't really work out that well, because it's like a pair of AC5s and then a medium laser and a small laser is what we have wait for there. And the heat efficiency on that is significant. But it's not very damaging. Right, so we would do, like, let's say we'd put this in here, and then also, we have a small laser that's pretty good. Yeah. So it would look like that. It alpha strikes at 34 heat, which is, you know, almost it almost can't generate heat because it doesn't have enough it doesn't have enough weight for the heavy weaponry. It does 165 damage on an alpha strike. It's running around with 90 armor on the front torso sections, 115 on the center. I mean, it's fairly heavily armored. It's a good sort of mid-range. Honestly, this is not terrible. It's a good sort of mid-range brawler that will be totally functional in very hot environments. This would be a great mech in lunar maps. And a pair of AC5s plus a medium laser gives you a lot of range versatility. Honestly, I don't hate this. I'm gonna build this like this. Let's throw that in the queue. And then let's figure out where we're going so we know how much time we have left, and we'll use that to plan out whether we want to outfit that Griffin right now. So my feeling is that probably difficulty 4 flashpoints are still a little bit beyond us. I would like to finish another heavy or assault mech before we go taking on 4 skull flashpoints. So, what about this one? This one is also 4. Let's look around for, like, 3 skull planets. There is one nearby. Inner sphere level civilization, manufacturing, moderate population. Honestly, that's not bad. We do a couple of 3 skull planets on the way to potentially fighting. How many days of travel would it be to get to here? 31? I'm just thinking we have quite a bit of money. Hitting another black market would not be a bad idea, I think. I kind of wish that the mouse over menu had the planet's challenge level listed on it, so I didn't have to click on all of them. There's a 2.5 over there that's 14 days away. We might want to do that. Or maybe hit this planet, then go from here to there, and then... Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. So let's go ahead and go to Giacomo. We have a travel contract offering to pay our costs to take us the other direction, but I don't really want to do a 2-skull world. I think 3-skull will be a good level of challenge. We'll have a hard time doing some of the missions. So we're talking about an 11-day travel. In 11 days, we can... Let's bump some stuff around here. The work on the Assassin and the Urban Mech is not terribly important. The Centurions and the Griffin really need to get fixed. That's hugely vital. That's only 5 days. We put the Shadowhawk in behind them. That's taken us to 10 days of repairs. And then what is it the Urban Mech or the Assassin that goes next? It's probably the Assassin, as much as I love the Urban Mech, and it did do some really great work for us. I think it's probably less important to the overall composition. So that's 11 days worth of work right there, which means that we don't actually gain a lot from building the other Griffin out right now, so I'm not going to bother with it. And before we leave, let's take one last look at the store. Is there anything that we wanted from this store? We don't need an assassin part. You know what? At the cost of this, yeah, let's go ahead and buy that. We have a piece for that mech.
New equipment available.
The Cyclops 10Q is a huge mech with 7 missile hardpoints, and I actually love it. I think it is a really, really great mech. I don't know that I want to spend 1,000,000 C-bills on a thing we don't even have a single part of yet, but we have so much money, and we're going to make a whole lot more money before we go to the black market planet. I think I'm actually going to buy this. This is a bit speculative, but I think that this is a cool mech. Yeah, let's do that.
New equipment.
We certainly don't need Jenner parts. Oh, that's right, we scrapped a bunch of a Marauder. Absolutely buy this. We are 1 Marauder part away from having a functional one. The Orion, I don't think I'm going to buy a single speculative part for because I don't think it's a good enough mech to be worth all the trouble. And we're going to see a lot of Orions before the end of the game. Cyclopses are going to be a little bit... Or I guess Cyclopes is I think the proper plural. Going to be much rarer. So with that, I think we're good to go. Let's get a move on over to that 3-skull planet. Giacomarl, a hot, wet world with a dense atmosphere. So probably there'll be some hot biomes, but also some jungle biome. It is a tropical world with moons. I don't know if that matters, if that's actually a a mechanical hook that anything hangs on. And also, this is taking us out into a part of space that we've not been to. Each new world we visit is worth some points, so it's good to go new places. Oh yeah, also that, and a new flashpoint was just added to the map. Out of curiosity, and sorry, hold on. Let me look at the star map first. New flashpoint in the Primus system. In the direction that we are flying, and it's 2.5 skulls. Well, we should do this. Bonus reward of a rare weapon? Yeah, okay. We're headed in that direction. And then we'll come back for this flashpoint, maybe. What interesting timing. Alright, let's start a new ship upgrade. We have a ton of cash. We can do whatever we want. Part of me wants to add another mech bay, because we are now at our mech cap, and also +4 tech points is included with this. We don't need to hurry on recreation. A new med bay would also certainly be worthwhile, but I think I want the new mech bay first. Yeah, let's get this.
All right, I'll get the team on it right away.
It is one of the more expensive upgrades, so it's nice to be able to put it in the queue now while we're filthy rich. I think the campaign as a whole is going really well so far. Now that we have our drive upgrades, did that pull our trip to the destination down by a day? It did not. It looks like it's the same, because we're going to finish the assassin on the day we arrive, which was the case before. Yeah, as you can see, we can definitely still make use of some mech tech points. There's still a lot of work to do. We're still going to be gaining and refitting an awful lot of mechs. So mech tech points are probably one of the primary rewards that we care about at this point. You bump into Cruz in the corridor and notice that she is in unusually high spirits. What's new, you ask her? Cruz grins. Well, I don't want to make too big a deal out of this, but today's my birthday. Well, since we repaired the lounge, we could throw a party in there. Let's do it. That evening, you invite Cruz to a small party in the lounge with senior staff and a few mech warriors in attendance. You say some flattering things about her, then General Acclaim summons Cruz to rise and give a speech. After a couple hours of food, music, and light drinking, the party starts breaking up and everyone wanders off in a pleasant mood. Later that evening, you find a thank you note from Cruz on the door of your personal quarters. Apparently, your gesture meant the world to her. Well, sure. Who wouldn't want a little gesture of caring from a zombie? That's awesome. So, a point of morale for the whole crew, and Cruz gets to do abilities for a lesser resolve cost for a few days. That's pretty cool, especially since it's fairly likely that we will be using Cruz in the missions on this world. Alright, let's check out the store. I wonder if there's anything here that we want. They have an entire catapult. Oh man. Look at that thing. That's beautiful. They also have one part of a catapult. We do already have one part. It is somewhat unlikely that we will buy an entire huge mech, but we totally could. They have a lot of stuff here. A +1 resolve gain comm system. These do not stack. You only get the benefit of the best comm system you have running, I believe. So there's no point in buying this for us. I guess unless I think there's a chance that the one we have in the crab will get destroyed. Might be good to have a backup. We have a heat bank here, which doesn't make your mech run more efficiently, but it does allow you to carry more heat before you overheat. And a mortar. We're buying the mortar. That's happening. So, yeah, we're going to have to save up a little bit. I really, really, really want to have a mortar. And I can't imagine we make it to 7 million before leaving this planet. Also, a piece of a cataphract. It would be cool to take that home. I do like the cataphract quite a bit. I want to buy this. I mean, we might end up spending a considerable amount of money here. This, unfortunately, is the other kind of Cyclops. There are two models of the Cyclops. This one is actually really cool. It has a unique communications equipment, a command and control module in the head that increases the initiative of all of your mechs by 1. It's very powerful. What an incredibly useful thing. Probably also worth buying the piece, but we'll see how much money we end up with. Alright, let's look at these contracts. Who is doing what? Who is asking for what? And who is paying what? Maybe is the more important question. There is no higher level of resolve that will actually give us any mechanical benefit. Getting to 50 will not increase the amount of resolve we're getting now, but having gained a point of morale means that now if we have a bad event that costs us a point of morale, we're safe, which I really appreciate. Oh, and there's a 3.5 skull pirate mission here that I would actually love to do, but unfortunately our pirate rep is nowhere near that threshold, I don't think. Yeah, we're at -3. We would have to get to 20, I believe. Yeah, we'd have to get to 20 to get up to the next threshold where they would allow us to take those missions. So we're starting to get to the point where our reputation with the other factions matters a lot more, because the thresholding of difficulties is going to start affecting us. Weirdly, we are liked by the Capellans. That's not a thing that usually happens. The Capellans are enemies with everybody. So, one thing that I haven't talked about a lot in terms of long-term planning is we want to plan to make alliances, or at least an alliance. If you get to a high enough level with a faction, you can press this ally with faction button, and it will give you access to some unique stuff from them, but it will also immediately make you enemies. It will bring your rep down, I believe, to 0 with everybody that they are enemies with. So, the Capellan Confederation is kind of an awkward friend to have, because you can't really ally with them without tanking your reputation with everybody. I don't know that we necessarily want to be high up with the Capellans. I don't have a plan here, but it might be time to start having a plan as far as reputation goes. At least the Free Worlds League likes us. Alright, before we go sallying forth into any missions, we should make sure that everybody's leveled up. You have no XP to spend. You have 3,400. We're probably taking you to Called Shot Mastery before we do anything else. So she's working on it. Grizzly, it looks like I was developing toward Ace Pilot, so we'll just keep doing that. Returned has nothing. Sourdough has nothing. Do we want Steamfitter to pick up Sensor Lock? Probably. Let's go ahead and do that.
Training confirmed, Commander.
And then Tire Fire. What do we want for Tire Fire now? We could grab some guts and increase the overheat threshold. We probably want to go back and pick up some of this kind of stuff. Like, probably what we should do with Tire Fire next is take her up piloting until she gets to the point of hit defense that is available somewhere in here, and then we'll worry about other stuff. Although reducing the recoil penalty actually might be good as well. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. She tends to drive a mech that runs pretty hot and that has recoil-heavy weaponry.
Training complete.
We'll focus on that. We'll get her piloting up eventually.
Waiting for orders.
And Trampoline has nothing. Okay, let's go do a job. Let's go blow some stuff up. What comes first? I mean, the Free Worlds League likes us an awful lot. We could work on our pirate rep a little bit. So this, unfortunately, is against the pirates. Got a 3.5 skull available here that is against the Capellans. I don't really mind losing Capellan rep. This is against the Free Worlds League. I don't really mind losing Free Worlds League rep either because we have so much of it. I think we would like to end up really friendly with them, but we have some that we can afford to lose. And that's against the pirates. So probably our pirate rep's going to end up being pretty much neutral. Who are these against? The Capellans and the Capellans. Okay, so we're gonna tank our Capellan rep out a little bit here. That being the case, let's do repossession first. I don't know if we're going to fall below a reputation threshold, but you do get a pay bonus for having higher reputation. So let's start here, even though it's an easier mission, and then we'll spend the rest of our time on this planet tanking our rep. A Merrick leader has fallen behind on payments for their armored vehicles, and our leasing agent has been unable to repossess the heavily armored vehicles. This sounds like a thing I should be good at. I want to take a ton of money on this, because we are trying to save up for some pretty serious stuff. At 2.5 skulls, we might see something that we'd want, so I'm a little torn between 1.6 and 0.3 on salvage. Thing is, we do need to make a lot of money. There's a lot of stuff here that is of value. I'm going to take this as full pay. I want that mortar. I want that mortar very badly. Alright, this is a desert biome. But I think we're still going to run a lot of mechs that that run pretty hot. And do we want Grizzly in the Griffin, or do we want to swap Returned back in? Griffin's going to be able to fire a little bit less. But you know, we need to train people up. Let's keep in Tire Fire and Cruise to make sure things go smoothly, and run Grizzly and Steamfitter so that they get XP. This is only 2.5 skulls. They should... This is the kind of mission where we need to be feeding people. And to have the long-term growth of the company in mind here. I'm really excited about that Marauder. I would like to finish that Marauder. Hopefully we can see one on this planet. Since we only need one part, we don't have to be careful. If we find a Marauder, just core it and drag home whatever still works. I think we've been getting the mischoice on the Griffin pieces aside. We've been getting really good salvage lately. The last few episodes, we've really built up a lot of potential for the company.
Command interface initiated.
Target vehicles have been detected in this area. Move up, make contact, destroy. Keep an eye out for enemy mechs.
Lovely. So serene.
It sounded like he was trying to do a fake Irish accent there for like just a second, and then he got embarrassed and thought better of it. Steamfitter might actually be like the breakout character of the campaign. I'm gonna have him come over here and try to get up on this ridge, give us vision of where we're going. So actually, we're trying to go up on the other side of this like little caldera. Is there it looks like this might be walkable. Maybe that's too steep. Okay, here's a ramp. There's a ramp here. So the short-range mechs need to go through the water. I'm going to have Tire Fire follow them up. King Crab might have a lot of trouble getting where it's going on this one. This might have been a bad mission to bring the King Crab on. I maybe should have taken, I don't know, maybe even the Phoenix Hawk in its place.
Copy.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Come back to you.
I read you, Commander.
Make sure that I know where everybody else is going to end up first.
On my way. Confirmed.
You still don't even have any readings, huh? Also, whatever the enemy force is, there seems to be a lot of them, based on the amount of time it takes for their turn to process. There we go. There's a reading. So, ooh, a Demolisher. That is a pair of AC-20s. That is a mech to take very seriously.
Confirmed.
I think we want to just get forward into the water. The thing about the Demolisher is it has no weapons that are not AC-20s, and so the vast majority of the time it will not be able to fire at us at all.
Moving out.
We just got to make sure that we kill it before that is no longer true. Okay, that's going to be one of those urban assault vehicles. The good news is we have a fair amount of cover down here, so we can, like, yeah, we can do stuff like this.
Okay.
Jump in there and just give him everything you got.
Jump. Die.
I'm surprised that I'm surprised those things just work underwater like that.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. They're heading your way.
Okay, one problem at a time here, Darius. Okay.
Going skyward.
Up here we are just about at optimal range. This is exactly why I wanted to jump up like this. So 120 still to the front. We could try an aim shot, but aim shots of the vehicles are always a little squirrely. I think I'm just going to fire and let's see what we get out of it. Okay, we've really weakened up his whole deal. Basically everywhere that isn't the back.
What can I do for you?
We need direct fire. Can I get up on a rock or something? I really desperately... I'm not going to be able to get direct fire. That's pretty bad, because we moved the Griffin forward. I should have checked before we committed the Griffin. What about over here? Hold on. Ah, okay, here we go. It's obstructed, but it's a shot.
You betcha.
Alright, I think we're good. Yeah, that is definitely worth devoting 3 entire people's turns to.
I feel bad about shooting the little guys.
You know, I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's reasonable to think of him as a little guy.
I hear ya.
And then the king crab very, very slowly approaches the ramp.
Uh-huh.
Just you guys wait. In about 2 or 3 days, this is gonna really turn into a thing.
I'm here.
If the griffin jumps, we don't quite get full cooling. We'll just do a sprint then. The sprint takes us about as far as a jump.
Reporting.
It looks like maybe the enemy is low on sensor lock capability, which is a good thing for us to know.
Good to go.
I'm a little worried about sitting in the open like this because we know that they could just run something to the edge to use as a spotter and then fire down at us a lot. Is that a bulldog? Bulldog is large laser, 2 SRM4s. Okay.
Waiting for orders.
And not super heavily armored.
Affirmative.
We will at least have the ability to fire our large lasers at their scouting units.
Hey.
This is going to be pretty harsh on our heat. But I guess this thing does need to go.
Engaging. Jump jet. You say so.
Wow, she did not get the job done. I didn't think that was going to be a big problem. He's not actually very heavily armored.
What's the plan?
Let's see if Steamfitter can finish the job here.
Yes, Commander.
We could precision strike this, just to get these hit chances up. Yeah, that's probably reasonable. That did go into the side armor, I'm pretty sure.
That vehicle is dead.
I hear ya.
Alright, so continuing to break their vision is probably the way we want to do this. Even though there are some vehicles that are really dangerous up close, I think a close range fight favors us, in part because we have the ability to step on them, but they do not have any analogous power for us. But also King Crab.
What? No.
Even in a situation where it's a fair close versus close battle, the King Crab is an advantage. I don't know that I want the Griffin to jump up this turn, though. I think I might jump back down here to cool. Or maybe even walk back down here to cool.
Advancing.
Because I want to give the Crab time to catch up. We just withdraw a little bit. Looks like it's going to maybe turn out to be the case that that I'm going to wish I took priority salvage on this. It's an Enforcer. The Enforcer is relatively dangerous. AC-10 and large laser is a real thing.
Orders?
So I guess let's try to take him. Where does he have his weaponry? How's this spread out? AC-10 is definitely the thing to be more worried about, so I appreciate that that's the side he angled toward us. Let's see what we can do about hitting that ammo bin.
What can I do for ya?
Well, the hard autocannon miss was not a good thing.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Try that one more time.
Time to die.
Okay, better. We hit the leg a lot, but I guess when you're firing from below like
Waiting on
this,
you, Commander.
at this angle, that's a thing to be expected. I'm assuming we don't have range for the guns. Yeah, I'm just gonna sprint. I want to get the crab out of the water as quickly as possible.
Let's do it. You can cut it out now.
Unfortunately, we're not really in a good position to do much about that that urban vehicle.
I'm
So I'm debating between reserving and moving up to try to fight this guy while exposing ourselves to the enemy a little bit more. I think I want to move up. Trying to find a spot where I don't make myself more available to the enemies. Yeah, I want them to have as hard as possible of a return shot. Left arm is, yeah, okay, we want to probably angle the left arm in. Trying to peel a couple of these guys off because they do have a pretty significant numbers advantage here. Do I want to just try to take his leg since we did so much damage to it anyway? Yeah, let's see if we can get that.
Didn't expect that.
Alright, a head injury plus a knockdown with that side torso being relatively weak as well means we might be able to get a quick pilot kill here.
Damage looks light, Commander.
What is that? Is that a Shadowhawk? Yeah, okay. So the Shadowhawk 2D has a variety of weapon systems, and none of them are all that good. The AC-5 is probably the main danger there. But basically, I'm not real worried about that thing. Do I really have a 55%? Oh, I'm outside of optimal weapons range. That might be fixable. We make it all the way to here. Don't have a direct shot at all because of the Shadowhawk. Actually, kind of awkward. That gives me worse. That is a worse shot. I'll just precision strike. I don't really want to use precision strike on a guy who's laying down. Maybe we just take the bad shot.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth spending resources on.
Yes. Go, go, go.
Okay, ammo explosion. Damage the pilot out. Good stuff. I believe ammo explosions cause pilot damage. I don't know if you get 2 pilot damage or 1 from an ammo explosion that also destroys a torso section. So that's a 9AL. Honestly, maybe more dangerous than the Shadowhawk. Also considerably more armored. What is going on with the Shadowhawk's armor? Why is it showing 360? We can probably burn this guy out real fast. Maybe we should just do that. The crab will have an easier time contributing to a fight against this guy as well. I think I might like move to here. I'm trying to make the angle more awkward for the enemies to shoot at me, but it looks like I can't really do that without disrupting my own shot pretty badly. Okay, that's a straight on. I'll take
You
that.
betcha. Here we go.
Well, that was pretty lucky.
Critical hit.
Very few of those shots hit the arm. Vast majority of it went straight through and hit the torso section. It's very, very lucky. The arm usually absorbs the brunt of the damage in a situation like that. So the thing that's on 1 is a vehicle, right? This could well be another demolisher. It's 80 tons. I think demolishers are 100 actually, so maybe that's not a demolisher. And I'm debating about whether I want to fire the UAC-20. We do only get 5 shots with it. We have to make them count. Taking this thing down is not a high enough priority, I think, to warrant firing that.
Tell me what to shoot.
We do also have to care about the heat output of the crab. Look at it. Look at that just hulking mass of terrifying death.
Hey.
You know, unlike the other death. The very calming death. The one nobody's scared of. Alright, break line of sight from most of the enemies. I think I like that as a plan.
Affirmative.
Let's keep working on this guy. Probably a good time. Oh, right, you don't have coolant vent. Well, we can probably turn off both the SRMs.
This might hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if that doesn't kill him, it knocks him over. Does make our lives a little bit easier. The enemies should feel free to fire on the king crab. Starting to see a little weakening of the right torso armor. How bad? Oh, he only has 92 points remaining. Whatever shall we do? Honestly, I think what we do here is reserve down to 1. Let's let the enemy do whatever they want to do. Move up, shoot at our crab. Draw them all out into the open, and then we can figure things out from there. That's kind of what I was hoping was going to happen there.
Yes, Commander.
King Crab has taken some serious stability damage, and that is a thing we do have to care about. I was really hoping it was going to be able to get vision of that vehicle.
Reporting.
Do we have anybody who's able to draw a bead on it? 'Cause I'd like to kill it, obviously.
Waiting for orders.
Okay, you know what? We might just be sensor locking it with Steam Fitter then. Inside of sensor range, it is not. I have to move forward. Don't really want to move forward out of cover, especially if I'm concerned that we might be like looking at a really dangerous enemy vehicle here. I guess I can jump down. Can't quite tell. It looks like that space is inside the terrain. Probably not actually where that's supposed to be. But that does give me 4 evasion. And it gives me sensor range. I guess let's lock on this thing and figure out exactly what it is.
Got a lock.
Ah, it's a triple PPC tank. That's not as scary. It's still
I hear ya.
still bad, obviously. Still a thing I don't want to get shot by a lot. But it's definitely less scary. So now the question is, how do we divide our fire? Do I want to do some precision striking to try to limit the number of enemies we're looking at? Thing's left torso is not all that vital to it. Vindicator is not nearly that scary. I'm assuming that there's no location where I'm going to be able to direct fire the PPC carrier, because that's what I would do if I had the option, given the relatively low danger that these other mechs pose. I think maybe I just back up a little bit to try to take advantage of my superior range, and we just focus on the Centurion.
Coordinates received.
I'm not too worried about the arm on this side, so maybe let's see if we can take his leg and give everybody an easier time putting him away. Okay, we opened it up at least.
Good to go.
And now that I know that thing's just a PPC carrier, I'm a little less concerned. I'd love to have you turned so your left side is facing the enemy. And now things are getting dense enough, I think this is where we start firing all the weapons at the same time. Let's try to put this dude away.
Got it.
God, that's a lot of damage.
And there's more where that came from.
Even kind of spread out like that all over him, that's so much damage. Also, look at the amount of heat we just generated there. Alright, the urban assault vehicle becomes a high priority now that it actually has close firing range. But also we want to take advantage of this guy being downed. His other leg is in pretty good shape. We get his right arm, we get the laser.
No.
Not sure what the right move
What's
is.
the plan?
Your right move is maybe just to focus on the urban assault vehicle. Man, it has a lot of armor. This is a shot into the side, which I like. Yeah, maybe we just try to pound that side armor and open it up. Because for all the damage output, it's not that heavily armored. It's not as heavily armored as like a demolisher. We can probably get it
Hey.
before we let it have another turn. No way to maneuver around the terrain here to not give the other mechs a shot at me. And also I have to be careful about my heat, because I do not have a way of dropping heat with this mech, or with this pilot.
There.
I think we're going to go in, we're just going to fire into that side armor with the SRMs. That'll give me a little bit of pullback on the heat, and also these are very damaging. Might want a precision strike for the... Okay, it doesn't matter too much where they hit, but I want a precision strike for the 20% hit chance. Okay.
Reporting. Enemy mover down.
What can I do for you?
Now we can put one person's fire strongly into the downed mech and see if we can't finish it off. What's it looking like? Center? Oh yeah, we go center.
Uh-huh.
Glad we fired everything, because I think he went down during the last 5 LRMs. Yeah, this is my big concern about exposing the Griffin, but I suppose it keeps them from hitting the crab again, and then he moves toward the crab, which is, I think, maybe pretty questionable. Oh, I don't quite have melee range. I'm pressing the melee button, but it won't lock. Well, not that worried about the Vindicator.
Uh-huh.
I think we just move up here and give him whatever we can give him. I'm gonna, vent some coolant, obviously. We probably want to turn off the UAC for this. How armored is he? Ooh, maybe not. Maybe I... Honestly, the UAC almost kills him with a shot to anywhere. So maybe what we do is turn off a large laser. Turn off both the large lasers? Well, the UAC doesn't actually do the job, right? A single hit to anywhere will leave him at like 5 or 15. So we do need other damage coming through. I'll just shoot like this. Alright. Good to be sure.
You like that?
And the Vindicator gets closer to the crab. Really doesn't seem like a great move to me. We'll go down here and let the crab punch it.
Why not?
I hear ya.
Okay, that is side arc rather than back arc. I think it's actually good
This is gonna be good.
for us to be hitting the side instead of the back. Because there's a pretty good chance that he's going to end up on his back here, right?
Here.
So shots that would have gone through to the back armor would potentially not be doing very much for us. I'm assuming... Yeah, let's just fire the missiles. That'll put him over, and then anybody has an easy time scraping him up from there.
How might I help?
This turned out to definitely be more difficult than I was expecting, given its skull rating.
Of course.
But I think we got out of this without taking any structure damage on anybody, right? That was an embarrassing shot. Just really terrible job, man. What are you thinking?
Special delivery.
Okay. God, look at how cool the king crab looks. I don't know why, but there's something about that like glowing ring where the leg is attached to the torso. It just really gets to me. What a neat detail. Alright, so we got out of that without taking any structural damage. We are not going to get to bring home any pieces of those mechs on purpose. But hey, a 30% payment increase for fighting those mechs, that's a damn good amount of money. 150 XP on everybody, obviously very valuable for some of us. And we get an LRM-10 launcher with bonus stability damage. Honestly, totally fine. Especially when you consider the amount of raw money. Like, yeah, that was a really good payout. What a really good episode in general. Hopefully it was worth the wait. We're not going to do anything else here. We don't need to wait for it to load back in. I'll just say right now, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time tomorrow when we do not tomorrow. Come back next time later today when we do maybe some of the most difficult missions we've ever done, and hopefully get to feel this way another time. And we'll see you then.